Thanks for tuning in again. In this video I'm going to go over how I installed the Dometic Heki Mini skylight. So I found the easiest way to do it was to basically hold the frame, the light up to the roof, and then find the center point and measure everything out. And then when I knew exactly where it needed to go, what I did was I got the drill and drilled the pilot holes from the inside out. So then when I got up onto the roof of the van, I could see exactly where the holes were for the 4 corners that I needed to cut out, which I then taped off and then drew lines in between each of the holes with the straight edge so that I could follow the line when cutting the roof out. Once that was done, I got an old bed sheet and I just stuck it to the walls of the van inside with magnets in the 4 corners, so that way all the filings and bits and pieces that could fall down would land in the sheet and I could catch them easily and dump them in the bin rather than having them go everywhere inside of the van. Then to cut the hole, rather than using a jigsaw, I used an air saw run off of a compressor. Cut the square around following the lines through the tape. It took a good while to actually cut the hole out because I was using a portable compressor and it's quite a small tank. I think it's only 10 litres, so it was running out quicker than the compressor could refill. So I'd have to cut a bit, stop, cut a bit, stop, cut a bit, stop. But even then, I still got it done with using only the 1 battery on the compressor. It's always handy to have a second person with a spare set of hands that can actually follow the saw around with the hoover, because I'm using both hands to operate the saw and the air hose. So if you have a second person, they can just suck up all the filings so that they don't spread out too much on the roof. That being said, it still gets everywhere that the hoover won't get everything, so it's a good idea to just sweep down the whole roof and make sure that there's no filings anywhere on the roof, because as soon as they get wet, it's just going to rust straight away. So once I had the hole cut and I was happy with it, I just got the skylight and just kind of plonked it down in to make sure that it was all right. Test fit it and it was all good. So then I used a file just to go around the edges of the square, just to take off any harsh edges, and then I used a bit of paint, direct metal paint and primer, just to go around the edges so that it wouldn't cause any rust later on. After a few hours, when the paint had dried, I used a mastic sealing tape to fill in the ridges. Because the van is uneven, so the window's going to sit on the higher point, so what I did was I used the mastic tape that leveled everything off and gives it a good seal for when I put the window down into it. And then following the instructions that came with the window, I put a big thick bead of bonding sealant all the way around the window. There's a small little valley in it that actually you just need to follow the line. It's pretty easy, and I used the Sikaflex sealer for that one. With the bead of sealant all the way around the window, then I just kind of plonked it down, and then to come in underneath, I put the bottom half of the window frame on. What they suggest is to use a piece of wood or build a frame to go around the edge. So you need to make the frame of your window the same thickness as what the depth of your roof is going to be. And then when you just screw it in and attach it with the included screws, it sandwiches everything down and keeps it all nice and tight. Then I just went back up onto the roof and used the same Sikaflex again to go all the way around the edge of the window and cover up all the mastic tape. Make sure that there's no holes or gaps or any tiny little nooks that the water can work its way into, because all that's going to do is make the roof leak and cause massive problems later on. So that is how I installed my Dometic Heki Mini skylight in the roof of my van. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the little bell icon so you can get notifications every time I upload a new video, and you can follow along in the process of my van build.